Let's start here with House Speaker Mike Johnson also issuing an open threat to the federal judiciary today. Johnson saying that Congress has the authority to pull funding to federal courts. The congressman also adding that he is open to the idea here of potentially impeaching judges who rule against the president, saying that, quote, everything is on the table. Well, this comes as the White House faces high-stakes legal battles over the deportation of alleged Venezuelan gang members and an executive order banning transgender service members from the military. So I want to bring back Jay, who, of course, is on the Hill alongside ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin, who's with us now as well. And so first of all, Jay, what more do we know here about Speaker Johnson's comments? And what are you hearing from lawmakers on the Hill? Because I think the real question here is there weight behind this threat?
So Johnson's gotten some pressure from lawmakers in his own party to be open to impeaching federal judges who rule against President Trump. And he didn't go that far today. Instead, he made this veiled threat where he said Congress is in charge of the budgets of these various courts. They're in charge of the drawing and makeup of these federal court districts where these district court judges preside. He's also thrown his weight behind this legislation from Darrell Issa of California to try to rein in how broad an injunction can be. You remember injunctions because every time there's some executive order from President Trump, and the same goes for the Biden administration with conservative judges, a judge would block that executive order from going into effect while a broader court case plays out. Darrell Issa's bill wants to try to rein in that power. Mike Johnson has said Republicans are going to put it on the floor next week for a vote. But he's not going the full length, Kana, that some in his party, chief among them Elon Musk, have called on him to do, which is open up the floodgates of this impeachment proceeding of federal judges who rule against President Trump. We know Elon Musk has backed House Republicans who get behind impeaching federal judges, but Mike Johnson not going that far today.
And Olivia, what more do we know about these cases that we talked about, right? There's these court cases that are playing out against the Trump administration, specifically the battle over deportation flights, as well as that executive order that bans trans service members from the military. What's the latest on both of those cases, Olivia?
Well, the Trump administration taking a step that we had expected them to take in the deportation case, which is invoking the state secret privilege. Essentially, they're saying that the judge who was asking for more information about those flights to determine if the Trump administration disobeyed his order to turn the flights around, they're saying this information is so sensitive that if we disclosed it to you, it would compromise national security. And the government using affidavits from Kristi Noem, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretary of State Mark Rubio, all to back this claim that it is too sensitive to give the judge more information. And really what the judge just wants is, where did those flights land? What time did they take off? How many people were on those flights? And what's so critical here, Kana, is that much of that information is already public. You can publicly track the flights. The administration put out and helped publish produced videos of these men being deported. So there are some questions here about, what really they're trying to hide when much of this information is out there. But Kristi Noem, the DHS secretary, saying that confirming any of that information would cause harm. Secretary of State Marco Rubio saying that disclosing it would prevent foreign governments from wanting to partner with the United States anymore if they know that this information can be disclosed to a judge. But what's key here, Kana, is that the judge now has to look at the information that's being provided and determine if they've sufficiently claimed that this information is guarded. And we haven't gotten that determination from Judge Boasberg yet. That's a big one that's coming. Really quickly, because you asked about the transgender case as well. Of course, there is a ban that's already in place on that executive order that a judge in Washington, D.C. put into place. The Trump administration and Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, is appealing that. But there are other cases playing out, specifically one out west today before a judge. It doesn't seem like there's a ruling in that case today, but based on a press conference afterward, the attorney representing some of those, the plaintiffs, some of those people who are suing, saying that they believe that this executive order, of course, which bans transgender military members, could affect thousands of people. Kana.
Certainly watching both of those closely. All right, Jay and Olivia, our thanks to both of you.